Hello, this is sports handicapper Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review, and I am ready to break down MLB overnight lines for the games taking place on Monday, May the 30th. Happy Memorial Day to anybody in the United States watching this video. Hope you have a fantastic and profitable, of course, Memorial Day holiday. Let's start by taking a look at let's start with the White Sox and the Mets on Monday. This is a weird scheduling situation here because the Mets play Sunday Night Baseball against the LA Dodgers, and now they're going to have to come back and play an early start, 1:10 p.m. Eastern Time game here on Monday. So it's a little bit of a tricky scheduling scenario here for the Mets, especially if, say, Bartolo Colon on Sunday night doesn't go deep into the game. Their bullpen might be a little bit vulnerable, so that's something you're going to want to keep an eye on here in this game as they open at Citi Field against the White Sox. And here we go. Look who's on the mound, our good friend Matt Harvey, and I've talked about him before on previous videos, documenting his struggles lately. Diminished velocity, diminished confidence, more walks, more control issues. He's getting hammered and giving up the long ball. Home runs have been an issue lately for Matt Harvey, and just an overall ability to get outs consistently right now isn't there for him. And until I see something that changes, he remains a bet against pitcher for me at this point. There's no denying that whatsoever. He's allowed 17 runs on 27 hits in his last 13.1 innings of work over his last 3 starts. Nationals smacked him up for 3 home runs in his last start, so real bad signs for Matt Harvey. And Matt Harvey's got no problem being Mr. Ego, Mr. Prima Donna. You know, when everything's going well, look at how good I am. I'm going to tell Terry Collins when I can pitch, not the other way around. I'm going to run the show here, not you. Well, guess what, Matt Harvey? Now you're being knocked down a peg or two here in your last few starts. Let's see if you can respond here. Maybe grow up a little bit and get back on track. Right now, though, I'm not convinced he can do it in this game or any time moving forward. I think he's got some serious mental issues, and it's affecting him on the mound right now. And until he shakes his way past it, he's not a guy I'm looking to bet on, that's for sure. And on the flip side, we've got Jose Quintana on the mound, the White Sox lefty. You know, has been reasonably reliable this season and pretty solid for the most part, and this Mets team against lefties has not been hitting the ball well. They've struggled against the left-handed side, 230 batting average as a team against lefties for 3.32 runs per game. Quintana even better actually on the road this season than he's been at home. A 2.05 ERA on the road, 7 earned runs allowed in 30 innings pitched away from home, 8 walks to 33 strikeouts. Fantastic numbers, no doubt about it. Mets just 3-7 with Matt Harvey on the mound this season, including 1-3 in his last 4 starts. I think it's a fair price with the Chicago White Sox. Road favorite of about -122, -125 in that particular range. I think they're worth a bet here until Matt Harvey can fix whatever issues, physical or mental, or both in my opinion, is what's causing him all these difficulties. Until he can fix them, he's a go-against pitcher for me. So I'll look to the White Sox in that game as a road favorite. Let's also take a look now at Minnesota and Oakland. You would think, boy, what the hell's wrong with you, Ian? Why are you picking this game to talk about? Two, mediocre or pathetic teams, especially in Minnesota's case here in this game. But there's something to be said about this game because we've talked about Kendall Graveman for Oakland before. You know, his numbers aren't terrible, but sometimes he pitchers that can't get out of their own way. A lot of it is just the team just isn't able to consistently win games with a certain pitcher on the mound, and that's been the case for Oakland with Kendall Graveman this season. We've been fading him, betting against him in recent starts, and I have no problems doing so again here. He's got a 5.36 ERA this season. His numbers are a bit better at home, but simply put, I mean, Oakland's just not winning with him on the mound. Oakland 1-8 now in Kendall Graveman's 9 starts this season, including 0-4 at home. And Graveman, even worse to me, pitching in the daytime. And let's keep in mind, this is going to be a 1 p.m. local time start in Oakland. Graveman has pitched 2 games in day baseball this year, allowing 8 runs in as many innings in those games, along with 5 home runs in those 2 day game starts. So this is a guy that struggled specifically pitching in day during the daytime. And you've got to keep in mind, there are certain pitchers in Major League Baseball where their day-night splits are really, really odd. And you'll see guys that pitch well at night and pitch horribly during the day and vice versa. They'll pitch really well during the day and maybe not pitch so well at night. And in this case for Kendall Graveman, he's not pitching very well during the daytime at all this season. So maybe Minnesota can get their offense going here. And let's keep in mind, Minnesota's lineup has been a lot better here in recent games. They're starting to hit. Joe Mauer's been hitting. Miguel Sano has really been hitting well for the Twins of late, finally starting to get some confidence. I know it's only a 3-game winning streak that Minnesota has as of this recording. They won the final game of their series against Kansas City and then won the first 2 games of their weekend series against Seattle, against the Mariners. So I know it's only a 3-game winning streak. It's still been a miserable team all season, but these little signs of confidence maybe make you think that maybe just for the time being, Minnesota might have some betting value, because these bad teams that have been bad for so long, as soon as they get a little spark, a little confidence, a little pep in their step, there's going to be betting value, because the betting markets are pricing the Twins based on the full season, not necessarily the current form or the short term. And the short term says the Twins are playing a little bit more competitively and finally starting to win some games. So maybe Minnesota, a little bit of confidence, and Irvin Santana on the mound for them in this game. Santana, not spectacular, but he's been solid since returning to this rotation. 3 runs or less Santana has allowed in 3 of his last 4 starts. The one outing where he was roughed up was last time against Kansas City, but willing to forgive him for that. He's facing a much weaker Oakland lineup here, and it is worth noting Santana has pitched in 4 day games already this year, 2.70 ERA in those games. And it's a guy that, is, I think, going to be at least able to keep the Twins in this game and give them a chance to win, which is really all you can ask for from a guy like this who's had a lot of issues in the past couple of years. So I think Santana can go out there, pitch a solid game. Minnesota, you don't see them priced like this very often, near even money, especially lately. That being said, I think it's warranted. I would look to the Twins here. -110 you can get with Minnesota in this game at the Greek Heritage, places like that. I would look to Minnesota definitely in this game as a short road favorite. So we'll look to the Twins to get the win there against Oakland, and look for the Athletics to find yet another way to lose with Kendall Graveman on the mound, just like they have all season long. A couple other games too for the Monday slate. Quickly, Boston and Baltimore. We've got Stephen Wright, the knuckleballer, taking on Tyler Wilson in that one. And the betting markets continue to remain reluctant to be jumping on board Stephen Wright and how good he's pitched. And really, you throw out one bad game against Houston, where he allowed 5 runs in 4.1 innings, and he said after that start, I just didn't have a great feel for my knuckleball. The weather didn't cooperate that day. It was a little slick, and as a result, just wasn't able to get a good feel for his knuckleball. Other than that, it has been just tremendous numbers from Stephen Wright this season. He's allowed 3 runs or less in 9 of his 10 starts this season. 2.52 ERA. His numbers on the road, they're even better. 1.73 ERA. 7 earned runs allowed in 36 innings pitched on the road. How about the fact he's only given up 3 home runs in 60 innings this year? That's pretty good from a knuckleballer, and that's important when you're playing Baltimore, a team that can hit home runs, especially here at Camden Yards. So I think Stephen Wright should be able to have a decent start, and Baltimore's never faced him yet. So Stephen Wright should have an advantage here. I'm not a big Tyler Wilson fan, on the other hand. Tyler Wilson just 1-3 Baltimore in his last 4 starts. Roughed up in his last 2 outings, gave up 5 runs in 6 innings against Seattle in this ballpark, and Baltimore lost that game. And in his last outing at Houston, 4 runs in 6 innings. Baltimore loses that game as well. I think Boston's got an edge, and they look a little bit cheap here in my opinion. -110 to -115 is the range you can find with the Boston Red Sox in this game, and with Stephen Wright, who remains undervalued in my opinion. So we'll look to the Red Sox there in that one. What else do we have on Monday's slate? Maybe you look for some runs to be scored in the Houston-Arizona game. I've not been a big fan of Colin McHugh at all this season, a guy that's definitely regressed from the season he had last year. He'll be on the mound for the Astros against the Arizona Diamondbacks. They will be countering with young Edwin Escobar, making his first start of the season. No idea what we can expect from him, but definitely one of those situations where I would look to fade McHugh in some way, shape, or form. Wish I had more faith in Edwin Escobar, but again, just a young guy making his debut here with the Arizona Diamondbacks, a young lefty for this team. We'll see how he fares in this matchup, but I would probably look to go against Colin McHugh in some way, shape, or form in this game. Maybe you look Arizona team total over, just because you don't know what you're going to expect from Edwin Escobar here in his first start, but it wouldn't surprise me to see some more woes here for Colin McHugh, and he's been at his worst on the road. It is worth noting, 6.38 ERA on the season for Colin McHugh on the road. 13 runs on 23 hits and just 18 innings pitched on the road, so it's been a real problem away from home for Colin McHugh. So maybe Arizona can score some runs there in that game on Monday between the Astros and Diamondbacks in interleague action on Memorial Day. So that will do it for me for taking a look at the MLB overnight lines for the games taking place on Monday, May the 30th for your Memorial Day. I'm sports handicapper Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review. Always great to be breaking down these MLB overnight lines on a daily basis. Hope you're enjoying the videos. I appreciate all the kind words and feedback. Also want to mention, because I haven't mentioned it often enough, you can follow me on Twitter at Bobano, or at Bobano, however you want to call it. Bobano is my Twitter account. I'll be posting lots of opinions, free picks on there, links to the videos that we do on a daily basis. So on Twitter, you can follow me, Ian Cameron, at Bobano, Bobano. Lots of great sports betting information I try to provide there on a daily basis. And as always, check out sportsbookreview.com on a daily basis. Live odds, daily videos and articles to give you all the information you need on a daily basis from a sports betting perspective. So until next time, I'm sports handicapper Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review. Enjoy your holiday Monday, I should say, for Memorial Day. And as always, enjoy the games and good luck.